Hey VW lovers, it's time for, you guessed it, another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So let's start off with Rafa's day. There's not a lot of visually exciting stuff to show here, but we'll talk about it nonetheless. So the radio for this bus, Rafa actually tested it out today. I had installed it previously and we weren't really sure if it worked or not, and we were probably just going to leave it installed, assuming it didn't work as just, a cosmetic thing because it looked awesome in the dash. But Rafa went ahead and pulled it out today just kind of for shits and giggles and hooked up an antenna and hooked up 6 volts to it. And lo and behold, it actually works. So now we're actually installing it for real. And so we got a speaker mount and a speaker, and those are installed in the dash. You can barely see the back of the speaker through there. Probably hard to see, but it's in there. And then the radio will go in next. So one of the things that's kind of been holding up a little bit of progress on this bus has been the fact that we didn't have a nose emblem. Well, lo and behold, we finally got one. We got a really nice one today. It's all chrome plated and everything already. So boom, there it is. So now that nose emblem can go in, that's gonna allow us to kind of finish up here on this bus. The nose emblem has to go in before a lot of things, one of which is the radio. It should really go in before that. The windshield wiper mechanism, it really needs to go in before that. So a lot of things that you need to have the nose emblem in to do, because otherwise it makes the nose emblem a real biatch to get in later. So anyway, now that that's in, we can pretty much finish up the front of this thing here, which is great because it's been kind of holding us up while we tried to hunt down a nice nose emblem for this bus. So there you go. The other thing he worked on was he did wire in the flasher switch. So the turn signals are pretty much completely wired in now. You may remember if you watch, he wired in the turn signal stock. I think it was yesterday. Excuse me. Another thing was he worked on the fresh air, the ventilation system. So he went and finished the install of that. So we've got the grill on the back here, all the internal mechanism, the cover that you see there, pretty much all finished off. Really beautiful. It is so cool looking when these are all put together and nice and new looking like that. Love it. It's a really cool part of bus. For those of you that aren't familiar with buses, there's actually some screens, some air inlets up here kind of under the front window. So that's where the air source for that comes from, if you didn't know that. And then you can control the airflow through there, both through the sides here as well as to the back. Really neat. So let's see, what else did he do on this bus? Another thing that he did was he went ahead and drilled the trim holes here. Those hadn't been drilled previously. So the deluxe buses have, of course, trim all along the side here, and then they have trim on these vents. So went ahead and drilled those holes. And he also, I think he put on the license plate assembly. Yeah, there it is. So slowly but surely, this bus is coming right along. I think those are probably the main things that he did on this bus today. So again, nothing like visually huge, but good solid progress nonetheless. This thing is really coming together. Now that we got this nose emblem, we can really, make some huge headway on the front of the bus, some things that have been holding us up. And it's going to look bitchin' with the nose emblem finally on there. It just really is kind of the cherry on top of the front of these things. So let's talk about what I did today. So today I continued working on the twin, which is the 61. So this one, unlike the 59, the 61 gets a 40 horsepower motor. So I continued working on all the accoutrements for that motor. I finally got rebuild kits for the carburetor and the fuel pump. So I went ahead and finished them up today. Got them all together. They look so nice when they're all new. And there you go. The only thing is I need to hunt down a better choke element. This one is an original one, but as you can see, it's been cracked at some point and glued. I'm hoping the owner, who has a pretty good stash of parts, is going to have one. Otherwise, I have found some new old stock ones. They're like $100 and they don't even say Solex on them. So we'll see. Anyway, so there's that. Fuel pump all together, rebuilt. It's as pretty on the inside as it is on the outside, but you'll have to take my word for it. And then his coil was really nice, but the paint on it wasn't great and the sticker was faded. So I went ahead and stripped it down, repainted it, and put a new sticker on it, and then put it on the freshly zinc plated bracket. He did have a nice bracket that had the cool Bosch logo on it. So yeah, really nice piece right there. And then I went ahead and built his distributor, which I had previously painted and done some other things on it, but went ahead now and put it together the rest of the way. Pretty happy with how that came out. Again, everything is freshly zinc plated. These clips we had done in black zinc. Everything else is regular clear zinc. So looking nice. And then last but not least, the owner did bring his powder coated parts today. So I got the freshly powder coated cap for the voltage regulator that looks really nice. So I went ahead and mounted the voltage regulator on here and wired it in and then put the cap on it. So this guy is done, except for brushes, which I forgot to order, but not a big deal. Those can go in a little later. So yeah, pretty much all the things that sort of bolt to the motor to complete it are done. And then, as I mentioned, he did bring all his powder coating. He did it in gloss black. Usually we use kind of like a semi-gloss. So you can see his tin here. It's very shiny. This is what we normally use. It's more like a satin or semi-gloss. I don't know what the technical name for it is, but it's definitely not gloss. But yeah, he went ahead and did gloss. It's going to look great. My only issue with gloss is it's kind of a fingerprint magnet, but when it's clean and not covered in fingerprints, it looks awesome. So yeah, probably tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and start putting this motor together. And I think that's about it for today. So appreciate you guys watching. If you can, like this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Helps us out. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.